Okay, so welcome to the second video, and this is going to cover text and layout. And the learning objective is to demonstrate the skills of manipulating text and layout so that you can improve the look of your advertisement. So this word here, manipulating, is another word for changing or adapting. So we're trying to improve the look of the presentation, and I'm looking for all of us. We can add text to a leaflet using text boxes, can select and use appropriate font style, size and colour for your advert, can understand the benefits of keeping your font styles consistent, that means the same, and you can adapt the layout of your advert. To stretch and challenge, you can add additional text using a text box. Okay, so let's flip to the view of our flyer at the moment. Now bear in mind you might be doing a poster or a leaflet, so you need to adapt yours accordingly. And I'm just explaining here that there's different areas within the flyer itself. Different text boxes and an image in the middle. At the top there is a text box for the title, and that might be the name of your product. So I'm going to change that, and I'm going to call it Biscuits and Cakes. And it's a nice big font because it's our title, and underneath I might put a slogan for the company. And here is a little text box underneath which gives a bit more information, a bit more detail about what the product is. So I'm just going to delete the example text there and put in my own text. So I'm pausing the video and then I will enter my own, and there it is. So if I just zoom into that, and I'll show you exactly what that says. It says biscuits, cakes and sweets. Come and visit us at the Snack Shack, break time on Wednesdays. We sell homemade biscuits, cakes and sweets. And I'll add a little bit more to say all reasonably priced. A little bit of a spelling mistake there. It should be an Y instead of an E at the end of reasonable. Reasonably priced. So I'm trying to give away a bit more information and sell my product. Okay, so moving down to the bottom of the page, we've got that's the area for the image. We'll come back to that in a second. We've got the area at the bottom which gives a bit more detail about you and your company. And this is where you're going to need to enter name and address, phone number and email. Now bear in mind, I do not want you to put your own personal information. I don't want you to give anything away that's personal about you, so please just make up the name and address, phone number and email. So for example, I'm putting Unit 1, The Warehouse, Park Industrial Estate, Rainhill, for example. It's completely made up. And a little postcode made up there, L345TJ, and a made up phone number. Fax, I'm going to put a fax question for you. Do people still use faxes? Well, I suppose some companies might still find it useful, but it is a dying technology. And you got your business tagline there. You might want to say something about your product there, or your business, what your business is about. Homemade treats for kids. That's what I've put. Okay, so this is just to explain a little bit about the area at the bottom. If I just rewind that a little bit back, the area at the bottom, oops, I keep losing that. You've got a logo here for your company. You know, you might want to choose one of your own, for example from clip art. You might decide that your company, that you are this particular product is part of a subsidiary or a small branch of an overall bigger company. And the example I gave in one lesson was, for example, Asda is part of the Walmart group. So sometimes companies are part of a bigger umbrella group, and you might decide you want your company to be part of a bigger organisation. That's entirely up to you. I'm just going to go on to talk about this area here now, the image area. Let's just remind ourselves of what we said we were going to do. You can add text to a leaflet using text boxes, can select and use appropriate font style, size and colour to your advert. So the basic point here is that we need to adapt the font size, style and colour for different areas of your poster, flyer or leaflet. So bigger fonts for things that you want to stand out, for example with the title or the product name, and smaller font, for example, with the business details. Try to keep your font styles consistent. You need to try and keep things the same as much as possible. You don't want different font styles, different colours too much, although with a poster or a flyer you might want to add different colours. Just be careful. There's no right or wrong answer, just be careful that you don't do too many things that are too distracting. Keep the same font, but be careful with your colours, not too many different colours. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next bit now. Just showing here that you've got different styles, different sizes. Now I'm going to just change this font style. This is how you change the font style. You highlight your font, you highlight your text that you've already typed, and you select a different style font and then a different size font, and then you can do the same for your other areas. Now bear in mind that we said before we wanted to keep our font style the same, consistency. So I'm looking for the same one, Century. It helps to add a professional image to your company, and I'm doing the same at the bottom there as well. And that's how you change the colour over there. We've got this is the way you change the text colour. So you click on there and change it to whatever colour you like. Again, make sure it stands out. If you think about your background and your text, make sure, for example with this one here, you've got a yellow background and an orange font. Doesn't really work. If you think about it, people aren't going to be able to read it very, very quickly, which is what you want with an advertisement product, some advertisement material. Okay, so the last thing, you can adapt the layout of your advert. Let's go back to our flyer, and I'm just going to show you how you can adapt the layout. So I'm talking about adapting the layout of these text boxes, so changing where they're positioned. You just need to grab the outside of the text box, wait for it to change to that cross, and then pull it with the mouse. You can move it up and down, left or right. Try to make sure that it's in line with the other boxes in your leaflet or poster or flyer. You can also decrease the size of the text box if you need to. I'm trying to align that up with my image box as well. I can pull that out. Again, I'm doing the same with this one. Grab the little white mark and move it in or out depending on what you need to do. Don't forget to use the undo button if you need to. Now, I've just gone to format text boxes, and I'm going to include another text box there. Now I need to use the undo button there, made a mistake, so that's okay. Trial and error. Okay, that's the end of that video.